All right, Nick, top 9. This game it has been one of those games, man. I mean, you want to talk about, I need to stay off the Bluebird app from time to time because it wears me down. I understand why people are excited. I know people can get frustrated from time to time about our own guys, but I mean, we got a chance to win this baseball game, and we're sitting here in the ninth inning, 3-3. So hopefully find a way to win, Nick. We need it. Need it's a strong word. What would you say we need here? You think we need is the wrong term, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is honestly the game that I feel the most comfortable about any of the 3 starting pitchers that are going. Now, this is also the Royals' best pitcher, too, that we're going to see this week, starting-wise. So, yeah, I mean, look, this is series you really need to win. So if you lose this, you're really fighting an uphill battle the next 2 days with 2 starters that have been, pretty inconsistent. Or that you're not banking on, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought that when this game went to the bullpen, it's become a bullpen game now, 3-3 when the bullpen came in, that you would have thought, like, at the beginning of the year that you like your chances, but that's where we're at, and it just feels like the Reds have shot themselves in the foot a little bit tonight to where it feels like inevitably it might come back to get us, but
there it is.
That's a good start. I got to figure out, I got to time myself up with you. I'm not going to do this tonight. I am going to pause my stream to get myself synced up with you. So
all right.
I'm seeing a replay right now. Stevenson just swung.
I just saw the replay. Stevenson just swung on the replay. Just swung again on the replay.
All right, I'm going to pause and play then. I think I'm like 2 seconds ahead of you. All right, I'm about to have a cut back to the TJ Hopkins in the pinch run.
Cut. Yep. I think we're pretty close.
Pretty close. All right.
Close enough.
Big hit by Stevenson, though. Big hit.
Yeah.
Good for him. Good for Ty.
Another 2-hit day.
Yep. All right, Will. I don't want to say redeem yourself because when you hit a ball like he hit a ball last time, it's not really redeeming yourself. It's just, I guess it is.
Will has 2 balls, both 106 miles an hour off the bat tonight.
Super encouraged.
He is hitting the ball hard.
Yeah, super encouraged by Will, right? I mean, that's the positive spin. That I don't know why. Maybe you're starting to rub off on me a little too much, but that's the way that I look at a lot of this. I know Weaver he wasn't great tonight. We'll get into a lot of this stuff, but shit, I mean, I remember at the beginning of this year, Sess would go out there and give up 8 runs in the first inning, so.
We also got like 20 seconds left in the NBA Finals. I honestly have not been paying attention at all to this game.
Second of the NBA Finals. What's the score?
It is 91-89 or 92-89 Nuggets.
That's cool.
So, yeah, we might be seeing a crowning of a champion, and hopefully Will Benson also goes Royal here. Oh, there we go. That'll work.
That's good, man. That's
Big
great.
League.
Now, this is one of those weird, stupid situations. I got to be honest. Analytics, I know, tell you not to bunt.
I don't know if that's true.
But I'm bunting. I really am.
The problem is how good of a bunter is Stuart Fairchild. If he's a good bunter, I'm 100% say bunt, and especially with Stuart Fairchild because you force the defense to make a play, and we know that Stuart Fairchild is going to hustle his ass down the line.
Right. Not a guaranteed out. It's not a guaranteed out is what you're getting at, right? I mean.
Yeah, I have no problem bunting if there's like a 75% chance he can get a bunt down. But have you ever seen Stuart Fairchild lay down a bunt?
I'd like to see one right now. I can tell you that.
100%. I agree. He could pinch hit Newman. I bet he could lay down a bunt.
Who's pinch?
Zadek's talking about it right now.
Yeah. Are we pinch hitting if he gets down this bunt or not?
Luke Maley's looked pretty good tonight.
I know.
Luke Maley. I keep saying that wrong.
Maley.
Oh, he's squared around.
I like it. Let's do it, baby.
Or is he drawing in the defense?
I don't think so. The third baseman's got to stay. You can run a wheel play right here if you're the Royals if you think for sure he's going to bunt. But it doesn't look like they're running the wheel play.
I would not be trying to get cute with Stuart Fairchild.
Nice bunt, dude. Beat it out. Throw it away. He almost got the
love it.
First
I
baseman.
love that. I love that.
That's awesome bunt, man. That's big league. Dude, Dude, he almost got it. Was that the first baseman who caught that? Or the second baseman? Because he almost got his arm broke. Second baseman. Watch this. Second baseman legit almost got his arm broken. He got it out of there. He got it out of there just in time, man. What an unbelievable bunt, Nick.
That's David Bell has to know his players. You have to know your guys, and that's yeah. All right. As I mentioned on Twitter earlier, though, Luke Malley does strike out in 30% of his at bats. So
they're pinch hitting the guy that doesn't strike out.
Doesn't strike out. Oh, have a moment, Kev. Let's have a moment,
brother. You want to talk about just this chat? Come on, Kevin. I know you guys hate me, but I would not hate a safety squeeze here. I'm just telling you. I wouldn't hate it. Just you get a bunt down towards the first base line and you're safe, easy at home. Easy. Now, I don't know if Kevin Newman can bunt either, but brother. Freeze on a line drive too, Benson. Freeze on a line drive, dude. Oh, that was a pitch. I think I'm barely ahead of you still. All right, I'm pausing again. Just pause myself again. I don't want to get too ahead of myself here. Come on. Oh. Man, look at the first base line, though, Nick. Like, just tell me that you can't just bunt but just bunt the ball over there, man. Come on. You got to get there, though, Nick. You got to get there. He's going to third. Benson, don't get thrown out. Oh, what a
Kevin Newman.
Let's go, Kevin. Kevin.
That's what I'm talking about.
Tell you what, man.
Kevin Newman.
Today's been a long day. I need this win.
Anything happened today?
It's been a long day around Chatterbox, man. Oh, brother.
Just trying to enjoy my son's t-ball game. My phone's like blowing up.
It's sad.
I mean, obviously, just to talk about Casey McAllister's
wedding.
Yeah. Everyone just wanted to chat about that. That was the big news of the day. All right, TJ, let's get a little insurance.
Yeah, let's get greedy here. Let's get greedy. Is Diaz available today, Mr. Juan? He better be.
I had Reds usage up in another window. Let's see. I never actually followed through checking that. Where are we at? Alexis Diaz threw 31 pitches the last 2 days, 20 Saturday, 11 on Sunday. Sims is 30 pitches the last 2 days.
Well, whatever.
So it's not like
Sims or Diaz.
I mean, I'd go Diaz.
That's it.
But I would go Sims if Sims had only pitched one of the last 2 days. All right.
Well, we're about to find out.
Oh, Buck Farmer. They are not Buck Farmer. Whew.
You think they're going to run Buck Farmer out again? Is that what they just
said? They just showed him on the screen. Sadek said Buck Farmer for the ninth, and he was like grabbing his glove to come out. I mean, he came through in Boston. Bucks came through all year. All right, where are we at in the order here? That'll make me feel maybe a little bit better.
Man,
the only thing I don't love about StatCast is
this is
doesn't
brutal.
show you where they're at.
There's just so many things that we can get into tonight. If this
9, 1, and 2. And 1 and 2 are their two best hitters by far, not even close.
Ohio Lakers, I need that. The chat's pumping me up here a little bit. Let's go, Buck Farmer. Let's get Buck Wild. You know what's funny is that perspective is always the right thing in life that you need. You just need perspective whenever you feel like your attitude or
And congrats to the Denver Nuggets on winning the NBA Finals.
Yeah, congrats to them. I wish I could say I could care, but I don't.
I'm with
no
you.
offense to the city of Denver, but I would trade their NBA championship right now for just this one win for the Cincinnati Reds. But that's here nor there. But this team, I have to keep reminding myself, is a team that I was told before this year started was going to win 65 games. So just one of those things. Kerr Casale is going behind the plate. There's your defensive replacement that we talked about last night. Let's go, Buck.
Buck them up. Ooh. I mean, that was to the number 9 hitter. So.
Like I told you, I was listening to the Kansas City Royals broadcast for a while because, like I said before, I was telling Nick before the stream, sometimes I like listening first time through the order, like listening to the opposing broadcast, see what they say about certain guys on your team, just their own opinions, and kind of get a fresh perspective maybe. They were talking about how the Royals are their pitching staff is focused on trying to throw balls in the heart of down the middle. That's a terrible call. I guess that's a real thing. I'm gonna look into it. There's obviously some analytical data to it, but they were talking about literally just genuinely putting balls down the middle of the plate.
I think I saw something about that to where you can fool a lot of hitters.
Make a play, Ellie. The honeymoon continues.
I moved him down to number 5 on the rundown tonight. It was hard. It was hard to do, but he is 0 for 4, so I had to put him 5th in the lineup.
Corey Orcutt, appreciate the super chat. Let's go, Buck. I needed that positive energy from the chat. You guys picked me up right there. I don't know what was going on. I mean, I know what was going on. Like I said, just a lot of moving parts right now. I need the Reds to win. It's been a stressful baseball game for whatever reason. I'll tell you why it's been stressful from the start too for me when we get into the show, but I don't know why it got to me today. Go ahead.
Brewers and Pirates off today as well, so
okay, I like it. I like I know where we were going.
That's Cardinals already lost.
Cardinals lost again.
Lost again,
dude. What is wrong over there?
Dude, they're legit probably going to be sellers at the deadline.
Let's wait. Let's wait before we do that. You're probably right. I mean, I'm not trying to talk you off the ledge. I mean, you're probably right. It's just one of those things. I'm trying to save face with the Cardinals.
No, honestly, for us, it might be better if they go on a little run and think they're back in it and don't trade because I think that's a team that needs to trade some dudes.
Yeah, well,
they need to trade their Luis Castillo.
Do they have a Luis Castillo?
I mean, it's more like a Paul Goldschmidt, but
yeah. Come on, Buck.
But those guys are so expensive, though. I don't really know how much trade value they have.
Oh. That's why baseball sometimes just seems like a hit or miss, like just such a happy-go-lucky game. Buck Farmer just threw a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, dead nut center of the plate. If he hits a home run right there, everyone's killing Buck Farmer. But he hit it foul, so whatever. We move on. No one cares. Make a play. Look at Spencer Steer. He figured it out, baby. Did you see that? That's called making an adjustment. He's got a second baseman over there.
Whew. Salvador Perez. Don't make a mistake. I don't know if I throw him a strike.
No. Let's not even talk about that. Now. Positive energy now. Come on.
I'm positive to say I don't know if I throw him a strike.
Yeah, I wouldn't throw him a strike either, but I don't think Buck Farmer can decide if he throws strikes or not. I think Buck Farmer legitimately right now is just rearing back and he's letting it rip up there. If it's a strike, it's a strike. If it's a ball, it's a ball. I don't think there's much location decision making being made right now.
What was the over-under on Bedford Sportsbook on Buck Farmer says? Oh, yep. And that's why you don't throw him a strike.
It's not over. It's not over. I know I got to be that guy right now, but it's not over.
Sheesh.
Hey, he's been throwing pitches right down the middle all inning, man. And that was a breaking ball. I'm pretty sure of it.
that guy walks in 2% of his plate appearances. Like, man,
Yeah, it's easier said than done, but I know what you're saying.
I mean, that's
Buck Farmer right now doesn't have precision. He doesn't have accurate control on his pitches. He's just throwing the ball up there. If you that ball is supposed to be down and away, Nick, that's a changeup middle in. I mean, it's just a horrible spot, dude. Horrible spot. And and you can say what you want, but he threw a 94-mile-an-hour fastball center cut last at bat. He got an out, which we all, like I said before, that would have been cool if he called it a strike.
All right,
okay.
Get out of this.
We got to get out of this. I don't know who we go to now if all these guys aren't available. Sims is available, I'd assume.
I mean, I'm assuming they're not available because I can't imagine.
Where's my center fielder at, dude? Thank you.
Friedel's got that. All right, free baseball. Free baseball. I just put 20th. That probably is not the right inning. All right. Where are we at?
So Sims isn't Sims isn't available.
Okay, so Jabot threw 21 pitches yesterday, but he didn't pitch the 2 days before. Who's left? I don't even have anyone else on the board here.
I don't know, man.
They already went through Legumina. They already went through Cruz. I got to pull up the freaking roster. I can't even remember who's in the bullpen anymore. Ricky Karcher. Is Ricky Karcher or Jabot, or they're going to go back on Sims and Diaz being available, which I think would kind of look pretty silly now because if they were available, you pitch them there, right? God, could you imagine Ricky Karcher having to make his debut in this game?
No. I'm just so sad.
All right, let's get 2 runs, and then let's give it to the Jabot man. Let him shut the door. All right, where are we at here?
Top of the lineup.
All right.
Should be India.
Ooh, Kirk.
No, it's McLean, right?
Okay, we got Friedel on second. On second. So
Friedel's
that's
on second.
good.
I got Friedel on second. McLean, Steer, Ellie.
I forgot I got to put the.
They did take Stevenson out of the game, so Stevenson's they lost the DH spot.
Did they really?
Yeah, they pinch ran Hopkins. Remember?
No, Hopkins is just the DH.
I thought you couldn't. I thought you couldn't take the DH.
You can pitch run. Hopkins wasn't in the game, was he?
I don't know the rule on DH that well. So you're telling me you can just straight sub in another DH?
Oh yeah, you can pinch it. Yeah, like if Fraley's the DH, you can platoon him later in the game. I mean, yeah, it's only if you then bring that person. If you try to bring that person that was a DH into the field, then you lose the DH.
Okay.
So as long as TJ Hopkins just is sitting on the sidelines, he's good to go.
Yeah, well then he's good to go. All he did was pinch run. Is this their closer, by the way?
No, that was the guy in the last inning.
Okay.
I think we've seen most of their good pitchers.
So they burned through their bullpen tonight. So
yeah,
you'd like to think tomorrow
this was.
It's a ball.
Sadek just said this guy was the
fuck?
opener yesterday.
Clean it up, man.
Did he call that a strike?
How do you call that a strike?
StatCast and the broadcast box is incredibly far off because StatCast has that almost touching the top of the zone.
Drew Carrison, super chat, baby. It is nut cutting time. Got to be honest.
That's the good vibes we need.
I'm nervous, and I don't like this at all. Why don't you call that a strike too, you piece?
This guy's just their opener.
Now, you know what you can tell? You can tell all the umpires that have been kind of like grandfathered in or whatever you call it. They got tenure. You can just tell.
Karcher is warming.
Well, it is what it is, Nick. We're in a spot where it's not good. That's the same spot, by the way. So I you know what I do love right now?
Maxwell. If this
I
is,
love Hubbard. Is it just the K zone just off? Is it just off?
let's see. I'm
I need to
checking.
know. I need to know before I just completely lose my mind, man.
Off. It's off. It hasn't updated that last.
I
pitch
love
yet.
Hubbard just standing there right by and he's in the gold, whatever, the best seats in the house. There, he's just locked in.
I think both pitches were balls, but they were much closer on the Statcast strike zone than what we're seeing on TV. Now, for whatever it's worth, I mean,
look at Hubbard. Look at Hubbard back there, though. Like, look at him. He's locked in, baby. He's locked in. I love it, man. He's just locked in, loaded. Chad, check him out, baby. Oh, brother. I love that guy wore Sam Hubbard jersey, by the way, to the Chiefs, the Chiefs like little celebration thing. Come on. Oh, look at you. That's how you get him over, baby. Get rid of that bat. You didn't like it anyways. That bat sucked anyways. You didn't want to use it anymore. It's just hitting like 360 with
thank God it wasn't corked.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's why McClay's been doing so well.
Well, Jonathan India, the leader we need right here. This is the leader we need. Put him.
Get out. All right, we're good.
By the way, if this guy isn't good, then I want to know like what good is. He's throwing like 101 mile an hour. Come on, John. Just get in there. No, it's not good when you're swinging at pitches that far out of the zone, Nick.
I am very curious how the Royals rank as bad in all of their pitching staff numbers as they do. Like after what I've watched tonight. Yeah, it was a good take.
June 12th in Kansas City right now. I'm sweating out a game. I got no money on it. Nothing but just pure fandom.
Good take.
Be ready to hit this fastball and don't be late. I mean, that's all I can tell you.
I think this guy could be a good matchup for Ellie.
All I care about is Jonathan India getting the ball put in play. Catch it. Yeah, get up here and catch it.
No, I mean after India's single.
I know what you're saying.
Then give a little. Not that Karcher needs the insurance, but.
Slider away. Nice. God, this dude's throwing 102 miles an hour. What world am I living in right now where they just come out of the bullpen throwing 100 miles an hour everywhere? It's like everybody's got one.
This dude's like their fifth best reliever.
Yeah, I mean, this is ridiculous.
And yeah.
Golly, dude. I mean, you know how hard it is to hit a 101 mile an hour fastball up at your chest like that and foul it off? Like that's impressive by Jonathan.
Fifth best reliever on a team where the bullpen ERA is 5.01 this season.
I don't understand it. This makes no sense that this guy's bad. Well, it could be because he can't throw a slider for a strike, and we've swung at him all. Oh, gosh.
Well, this guy actually has a 2.72 FIP. So I think he's been a little unfortunate
Get through.
this year.
Fuck. Did he have the ball? He didn't have the ball. He didn't have the ball, Nick. He didn't have the ball. Nick, he didn't have the ball.
Was he also blocking the plate?
Well,
they're challenging challenge everything.
He didn't have the ball. I seen it.
Challenge both.
He did not have the ball. That's what's bad. This call stands is going to get us again, I bet. It's hard to see that unless they got a camera angle from center field. He didn't have the ball when he tagged him. It was in his throwing hand, I think. It was in his throwing hand. Did he even tag him? He didn't have the ball. He didn't have the ball. He didn't have the ball. Tell me I'm the man. Tell me I'm the man.
I think you should be safe on both counts.
If he calls him out on this, I'm done. I'm done. We might not. I won't be on the show. He didn't even have control of the ball. One, he never touched him. He never even touched him. He's as safe as you humanly can be in baseball. I'm gonna calm down before I hear this call. But if it's call stands, I'm gonna take a walk. I won't be here for a minute.
Who's your daddy asked, can you challenge both? Freddie Benavidez, if you could read his lips, he said challenge both. He said both.
He did. Well, I got news for Freddie, boy. You don't need them both. The first one counts. He never tagged him. And secondly, you need to have the ball in order to tag somebody. Didn't have either one of them.
Trace, I think we deserve 2 runs, though.
Is it an automatic run if he's blocking the plate? Then that's count them both.
I'm saying.
He never tagged him. This is about as easy as a call as you can get in New York. It shouldn't take long. Let's move it. Let's keep it moving.
Blocking the plate. He never gave him a chance to. However.
Yeah, thank you. New York finally got one right.
He was still blocking the plate, though. That's horse crap. But Reds lead, folks.
Chat, I just want you to know that I sit in my house and CB Buckner can't see what's in front of him from fucking 2 feet away. Good angle by CB, by the way. Golly day. This is not the baseball game I needed today. I need a win. Need it.
Still going to go to Carter. That's the question.
Yeah, we got a good point here. Got 120 people in the chat right now. We got 26 likes. If we could get those likes up, guys, that would be a big deal. That'd be a big deal, especially if we got Carter coming to the game.
Yeah.
We need all the likes we can get. We need all the likes we can get. Come on, Ellie.
Ellie, put one in the seats here.
Boy, that would be nice.
Ooh.
Brother. It would be kind of cool scientifically just to see Ellie catch one perfectly on 100 mile an hour. I'd like to see scientifically what happens.
We may not see where the ball goes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how far can this ball actually go? If Ellie catches this ball perfectly and he throws this thing 100 miles an hour, middle in and up.
He hit one in Chattanooga last year that it just disappeared. Like no one knew where it went.
Yeah, what if the ball just explodes?
I think it went into Georgia.
What if the ball just exploded? Just it looked like Randy Johnson, that bird. Just good pitch, man. This guy's good. I don't care what his stats say, dude. He throws 102 miles an hour, and he's throwing 88 mile an hour little sliders or whatever you call that. Little
I'm
cement
telling you,
mixer.
he's got a sub 3 FIP. So.
Well, if the Royals are looking to get rid of some guys,
Yeah.
I got a couple guys
Package
down
him
in
with
Daytona.
Chapman.
Yeah. Dude, he's...
Good take.
I don't think he had a choice.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's one of those deals when you're playing MLB The Show and you get fooled and the ball's so bad it's almost going to hit you, and you go to swing at it and then it doesn't let you swing because it almost hit you. Get through there. Did they get him? Did they get him? That's how you double up Ellie, by the way.
The Ricky Karcher
Experience. Let's get into it.
I mean, this dude's either going to strike out the side or he's going to walk in the winning run. Like, there's no in between.
Oh, this is so gross, man. This whole game's been gross. Does it feel like we're winning by a run to you?
No, it does not.
I mean, I have confidence. I kind of have confidence.
The one good thing about Karcher is he doesn't typically give up a lot of extra base hits. But
can you give me some insight as to why this guy got brought up?
I mean, he's an incredible talent. I mean, this like he could legitimately. Like,
How hard does he throw? How hard does he throw? Let's start with that. You know,
I think he throws. I think I saw that he hit 102.
He throws 102. Our guy?
Not regularly. Not regularly.
Oh, well, you're just giving me a smoke pipe dream here. Give me the realistic velo.
It's harder. You gotta give me some digging here.
All right, fine. We'll find out. We're about to find out right
Yeah,
now.
you'll probably find out before I get it.
94. I'm not gonna be pleased when I just had my hopes up of 102. No free ads, by the way. Sorry.
I like the smile. He's got confidence.
Oh yeah, he's
got more confidence than me.
Let me tell you something, Casale. I was born for this, son. I've been chewing tobacco and striking guys out since I was 14 years old. He looks like a man. Hey, tell you what, he's got some Reed Mouse pants on.
Just do with a 9.27 ERA at AAA to close his ball.
He's got a 10 ERA in AAA. He's a 9.2 ERA, 34 walks, 31 strikeouts. What about Ian Jabot? Where the hell is he at?
I mean, is Ricky Karcher finishing this game if he gets up one run?
What? If we
I guess David Bell goes, this guy, we're either winning or losing. There's no time.
No extra innings. Yeah, we're not doing this 11 inning, 12 inning
Bobby
stuff.
Witt Jr., #1 prospect in baseball last year, first batter.
Oh God, what a catch by Casale.
I'm glad Casale's back there. I'm sure he's not.
Oh, guys. Hey, guys, let's chat. Let's all just get through this together. Let's just all get through this. This is not fair to Karcher either, by the way. This is not fair.
This is brutal.
Absolutely ridiculous. This kid should be coming into a 7-run game. He's throwing little 88-mile-an-hour dot pieces. But anyway, my point is, let's get back to the point.
He hit the over. The over-under was 0.5 strikes.
Yeah, he's not supposed to be able to close. This is not what he's supposed to be doing right now. Golly day, man. Calm down. Let's take some deep breaths, Karcher. Woosah, brother.
Someone on the Royals bench told Witt, you do not swing or you're getting demoted to AAA.
Oh man, I love how the little green screen back there is causing the nice pitch. Oh, come on, CB.
That's not, you call it everything.
That's a huge call, man. 2-2 or 3-1. Look at my man. Derek Johnson. They're not looking too confident. Sam Hubbard's still locked in, though. You got to give him credit. That's not the worst thing in the world, chat. Listen to me. Listen to me. That's not the worst thing, okay? Because we get a ground ball here, we get a double play. Realistically speaking, we need to get out of this with no runs. If this is the option we have in the 10th inning, what is the option going to look like in the 11th and 12th inning? We need a pop-up right here, and then we're going to get a rollover double play. Or a line drive double play. Hell, triple play. Why not, Nick? Oh, we're bunting.
Why on God's green earth would you be bunting against a guy that can't throw a strike?
Well, clearly they don't think this guy. I mean, he's got 2 hits today, though, to be fair. It's their 5-hole. They're bunting him over to get to the bottom of the order. By the way, that didn't hit him. If you had some real marbles, you'd run the wheel play right here. They're going to run the wheel play. Look at this. You see McLean all the way over there? He's going to third. Ellie's charging. They're going to try to get him out at third. He's not. That's the pause. That's the negative if you're not. So if they're going to run the wheel play, then the right play is the not bunt, but because the whole entire middle infield's open. Now they put McLean back at short unless he starts taking off.
Ellie and McLean, they know about the Ricky Carter experience. They've seen it firsthand.
Oh, my God. He almost killed him, man. It's almost fair. Go get the ball, Casale.
What?
What are we doing?
Dumbest decision in the history of baseball to be bunting here. What are they doing?
I'm not even talking about that. The ball is almost fair, Nick. It's literally rolling right down the line.
I think it was foul.
It almost was foul. Look how, I mean, they don't show it, but it was literally on the line. I mean, it fouled. It hit him. Okay. It hit Casale's leg. I apologize, Chad.
I cannot believe they're bunting. This might be the dumbest baseball decision I've seen in years.
Nick, we need a double play right here. Actually, strike him out. I'll take a strikeout. We don't do that in this league, Karcher. You only get a couple of those. We don't do that. Tell you what, if you're the Royals, stick with it. I know that sounds stupid and you're laughing at me, but if you really want to bunt, now's the time to bunt. You can bunt it right back to the pitcher and you'll be safe at third. Fucking, what are we doing throwing change-ups, bro? Let's challenge them. Fastballs, Casale. This guy's got no control. We all know that. And when I say no control, I mean genuinely he's not even looking to where the pitch is supposed to go. He's just throwing whatever he's got and he's praying to God it works. Throw that little slider. Nice. Throw him out at third. You got him. Throw him out at third. Throw him out.
Say.
I thought he overthrew it for a second, though.
I can't.
You know what's crazy right there, Nick?
They gave Ricky Carter 2 strikes.
Listen to me, if he throws that ball to second, they have a double play. And I'm not saying he should have. I'm just saying if he did. DeWitt Jr. was expecting a tag. He runs incredible. Now, he might have ran farther because the throw was high, to be fair. But whatever, I'll take it. I wanted that to happen. I'm like, there's no complaints here. That's the right play. It's the right baseball play. Let's get a double play. Remember that walk to lead the inning off I told you about? This is it right here. We're going to get a double play. Nick, you don't like the decision.
The bunt?
Yeah, the bunt.
This is the dumbest decision I've ever seen. Like, the dude can't throw a strike, and you handed him 2 strikes. He literally almost hit your dude in the face. Like, we're not out of this by any means.
No, we're not out of this. We need a double play.
He made that.
What?
Wow.
Well, we can't walk him.
Now
We can't walk. We can't walk him because, man, that was just going off of a read. That's on the pitch. That's not really on the pitcher. He just lost it. Damn. Whatever. If we're being honest at this point, and I'm not trying to say, I'll wait till the game's over to say it.
Folks, we need a lot of likes right now. We need a lot of likes.
Oh, my Lanta. Look at Sam Hubbard, though. I keep bringing him up because he's locked in. He's giving his guys. I know it's a tense game right now. I know everyone's just absolutely just really nervous and everything, but Sam Hubbard is locked in.
How much money does he have on the Betfred Sportsbook on this game?
Oh, my God. Throw it higher next time. Somebody get him a bucket. He's throwing up. Oh, man. David, are you sure we don't have anybody available?
David's like, what do I do if...
Are you giving 3-0 green light right here?
I'm giving the hardest red light.
Oh shit! It's 3-1. Now you know.
They gave him another strike.
That's one way. That's one way to go. That's one way, baby. Oh, we're
maybe
arguing.
Load the bases. You're 4 balls away from.
Okay, we're arguing. Can you get another strike for arguing?
Yeah.
Look at CB, man.
He's like, dude.
He's older. He's older.
He's like, this next pitch is gonna be a ball. Just sit down. Like,
yeah.
Calm down, bro. Like.
Oh man. At least we're treating this in stride. We're trying to treat this. I can only imagine what Twitter's looking like right now. I do not even want to look. Let's keep it moving, man. You're getting in our guy. Our guy was in a good rhythm, and you're breaking stride. Oh man. Oh man. This is so bad. You know what? He's got a little control with that 88-mile-an-hour slider. I'm being serious. He's got a little bit of control with that pitch. I don't think you can keep throwing it over again because it doesn't have a lot of bite to it, but it does spin in there. Spins for a strike.
Oh my God.
Come on, Ellie.
We got 2 outs.
Okay, we listen, this isn't over. We all know we're a long way from the finish line. Likes, people. Likes. Many as you can get. He's got that freaking 88-mile-an-hour cement mixer. He's got control of it. Now, whether or not they figure that out and that's the only thing they sit on, I don't know. But if I'm a hitter right now, I'm sitting on that little cement mixer and I'm freaking tanking it. You got to try to throw a fastball. God bless America, bro. Calm down.
Dude, Sally has saved this ball game.
Golly day, bro. Like, how many balls are you going to throw?
Can you believe Kurt caught that ball? Like,
dude, this guy, it's not his fault either, chat. Let's all be clear. This guy's coming in for the first time with a 10 ERA in AAA. He's throwing that 88-mile-an-hour cement mixer, though, boy, ain't he? Do you go to the – listen, I know this is wild, but Kurt Casale knows right now if he can get a fastball up in the zone for a strike, this guy's out. I promise you he's out.
If he gets a fastball,
but the problem is I don't think he can locate that to save his life.
Oh, come on. Give Ricky that.
It's outside.
Ricky's bad.
It's out. Sam wanted it bad, too, back there. Hubbard thought it was a strike, too. Watch Hubbard right here.
I love it. I'm not even looking at the chat.
Please, Karcher. That's a ball, guys. I mean, if we're being honest, it's a ball.
No, it is. I can't believe they're even that close. I can't believe it's still like 4 straight pitches that were close.
I don't deserve this if this was going to happen to me. Come on. It's a cut. That ball's caught, Nick. Oh, my God. We just stole a baseball game in Kansas City. We just stole it. stole it.
Oh my God. I can't believe
Chat.
They're all laughing on the field. They can't believe it either.
We just stole it. David Bell's looking at his feet going, what in the hell just happened? We got a show to
Alexis
do.
Diaz? Who needs Lucas Sims? We got Ricky motherfucking Karcher.
Oh, let's do a show. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to try. Ridiculous baseball game. Karcher, of all guys, is getting a water bath right now as we speak, Nick. I don't know what to say. I'm a little speechless. I'm going to let you start this show off for a minute because I cannot believe the Cincinnati Reds just defeated the Kansas City Royals 5-4 in the manner in which they did. Nick, your overall impressions.
I might be the most optimistic person on the planet, and I thought there was no chance the Reds were winning that game. I can't even believe what just happened. Like, look at the pitch right now. Like Ellie De La Cruz was laughing. Like, I can't believe we won either.
Yeah, and Ellie, like you said, he's had firsthand experience with some Karcher outings, and I don't think they've gone the way in which he just seen. Unbelievable. It should be noted really quickly. I don't know if we should get into the box score recap now, or if we should try to just spew some thoughts here as we go of what I just witnessed. One thing that we need to remind ourselves, I'd like for you to try to see if you can't throw it in the rundown just to remember it, is Kirk Sally. We should talk about him at some point because, like it or not, that guy saved the game like 9 different times. And Karcher didn't just come in and close the door, Nick. He came in and closed the door with the guy starting on second base and not giving up a run. The Reds did score a run in the top of the 10th. But the reality is you're supposed to score that run, right, Nick? Do you feel like that's the case? I don't know what the percentages are, but it feels like you're supposed to score at least one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're supposed to. That's why you don't bunt, because you're playing for hopefully a chance to get 2. So yeah, I mean, they're supposed to score that run. And man, how about the Cincinnati Reds, Trace?
Man, Corey Orcutt with another super chat, man. We did steal that game. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for everybody for watching. I know that this game legitimately did a lot to my heart. I don't know if I'm ready for playoff baseball. I think I might die if the Reds are in the World Series. Like, I can't handle it. It's something about the fact that I care too much. I don't even know why I care too much, if we're being completely honest. I know many people in the chat feel the same way, but I can't explain how I get when I have to watch what I just watched the last 3 innings, because it didn't feel like the Reds were going to win this game ever since the Will Benson getting thrown out at third thing, which we'll get into later in the show. But my goodness, man, what a win. What a win, Nick Kirby. You got a box score recap. It's probably like 12 pages long. I would just say, if you got 12 pages, do your best to see what you think matters.
We got a really strong through the 6th inning, and then after that, we're gonna have to kind of make it up as we go because I was just so locked in. But Let's jump into it. Let's see what happened. Those who might have tuned in late, let's get you caught up at least on what happened early in this game. All right, Luke Weaver, he gave up 3 runs. It only lasted 4 2/3 innings. Luke really struggled with his command. He walked 4 batters. Weaver actually hadn't walked more than 2 in a start all year prior to tonight. Alex Young did get him off the hook in the 5th inning. Earlier in this game, Stuart Fairchild crushed a solo home run, 421 feet to left center. That was really the Reds' only offense early in the game. But as we've seen the Reds do all year, in the top of the 6th, the Reds got a comeback rolling. They were trailing 3-1. Luke Maley and TJ Friedel had back-to-back doubles, and then Jonathan India singled home Friedel, and that tied the game up in the 6th. At some point, I think it was in the 8th inning, we had a really awesome Aroldis Chapman versus Ellie De La Cruz. Aroldis Chapman looked incredible in this game. And then we went to the top of the 9th, tied up at 3. In the top of the 9th, Reds, Tyler Stevenson led off with a single. Will Benson walked. And then Stuart Fairchild really surprisingly laid down just an absolutely magnificent sacrifice bunt. Couldn't have placed it any better. Moved both runners over. And then Kevin Newman hit a sac fly to put the Reds up 4-3. Reds were 1 out away from winning this ball game in the bottom of the 9th. Reds went with Buck Farmer in the 9th because apparently Ian Jabot, Alexis Diaz, and Lucas Sims were all unavailable tonight. But Salvador Perez hit a home run, his 14th of the year, tied the game up at 4, and we went into extra innings. In extra innings, Jonathan India was at the plate. TJ Friedel was the Reds' ghost runner, and he got over to third base on Matt McLean ground out. With Jonathan India at the plate, Friedel went on contact, called out at the plate, but the call was overturned because Salvador Perez did not have the ball. Reds took a 5-4 lead. And then we go to the bottom of the 10th. The Reds go with Ricky Karcher because he was the only pitcher left on the Reds' entire pitching staff. Ricky Karcher with an ERA of near 10 at AAA. He had pitched really, really well in May, to his credit. But Ricky Karcher is certainly an experience. He walked Bobby Witt. Then Michael Massey with runners on first and second. The Royals, for some godforsaken reason, decided to try to bunt. And the first pitch, he bunted foul. The second strike was about to hit him in the face, and he bunted to literally just have the ball not hit his face. And then he flied out, and so the Reds got it out there. The next batter popped out, and then Ricky Karcher got a fly out to end the game. At some point, the runners actually got moved over to second and third. Ricky Karcher gets his first big league save. What's the Reds' record now, Trace? 32-35. Reds have won 3 straight. Reds, I don't know what their record is on the road, but the Reds are rolling on the road. Reds, remember, They started the season 1-9 on the road. They are 14-8 cents.
I can't believe it, man.
I don't even know what I just watched.
It's absolutely hilarious. We just won that baseball game, dude. Corey, again, thank you for the super chats. Drew, thank you for the super chat. Player formerly known as Mouse Cop, the OG of all OGs, said, if you said the game was over, you ask your forgiveness from your overlords, Trace and Kirby. Extend Johnson. Guys, everybody, we weren't supposed to win that game. We had no business winning that game. We got thrown out at third like 3 times, twice to be exact. What else happened in this baseball game that made no sense? I mean, our starter goes out, gives a couple runs up early. You feel like maybe that was going to be the telltale sign that this wasn't going to go well in Kansas City tonight. But as I said on Twitter, let's get into the base running first, and then I want to get into Luke Weaver since you have that on the rundown, because I don't want to get into the Weaver situation until it's right. I'm going to try like hell to stay on the timeline, because if I don't tonight, I never will. I'll be all over the place. This game has about 25,000 different talking points that we could get into. But you have something before we get into that, Nick?
Trace, the Reds are 2.5 out of a playoff spot.
Yeah, dude, it is stupid. It genuinely is stupid. There's so many things that this team has been able to overcome, and the fact of the matter is the starting pitching being as bad as it's been, the fact that they're able to overcome what they've done when that was the one spot we thought was going to be good heading into this year shows you that having plans are most times just basically not a waste of time, but just almost like, what is the saying? You make plans and God laughs. That's genuinely how I feel about this baseball team. Base running. Overall, my overall thoughts with base running, Nick, with this baseball team is we're going to live and die with being aggressive. I've said that from the start, and that's something I'll continue to say, and that's something that I will continue to believe in. We're not going to be able to get upset when guys are aggressive and they get thrown out. But there's a time and a place, Nick. There's a time and a place. There's times, like you said, there's a time when you should bunt. There's a time when you shouldn't. There's a time when you should try to take that extra bag and get to third base, and there's a time you shouldn't. I thought McLean's situation in the first inning, I believe it was. This game is so long at this point, I can't remember. But it was the first inning, Nick, right? He went from first to third. He got thrown out third. That was a great throw, and it took a perfect throw to get him out. Benson, on the other hand, did not take a perfect relay, in my opinion. It was a good relay, but it didn't take a perfect relay because he was out by, I don't know, 3 or 4 feet. I don't want to say 5 feet, but it's those types of things, though, when if you lose this game, you point directly to it, right? It's like you hit 2 doubles in an inning in the 7th inning, Nick, and you don't get a run. And we're not going to be pessimistic on this show because it makes absolute no sense to be that way, and we're not going to be that way. But it's just those are the types of things that seem to make a big impact in why you win and lose games. And tonight, for whatever reason, it didn't come to bite us. Didn't it feel like we had so many opportunities and we kind of let them fall through the cracks that at the end of the game it was going to be like, oh well, we didn't get this done, this done, this done. Did it feel like that to you or no?
Yeah, but the Reds bullpen. I mean, it was Alex Young, Fernando Cruz, Casey Legumina, and Buck Farmer, who actually pitched an inning at 2/3. So that, last home run he gave up still wasn't that terrible. I mean, these guys just continue to keep this team in the game and give them chance after chance after chance. Trace, 4 of the Reds' last 5 wins have been comeback wins. Like, they were trailing. And
they're not supposed to win these games.
21 comeback wins on the season. I mean, this team, they never quit. It just had Ricky Karcher to the fold of all that.
Right. Yeah. You know what? You may bring up a good point really quickly. Good teams it does feel like good teams always believe that they're going to find a way and win. No matter what the situation, good teams always feel like, you know what, we're not out of this completely. We got another super chat by Christopher. Christopher, you're asking who the hell guy was in this Bengals jersey. Bro, that's Sam Hubbard, man. He was locked and loaded the whole game. I don't know if you've seen it. You had to have seen it. Obviously, you're asking about it. Sam Hubbard was locked and loaded. I don't know if he had money on the game, but it sure seemed like it. Maybe he's just a big fan. I don't know. But as far as the Reds team itself, it's getting to the point where you just don't feel like you want to touch it. It feels like this team's fine. Let's just let them be. I know they have flaws. Let's let them struggle before we start to just make a mess of it, right? Besides CES, I'd like to see him come up for Barrera, who seemingly never gets to play anymore, which has to be addressed at some point. We won't get into that this show because there's too many other things to talk about. I do want to talk about Luke Weaver. Do you have anything to add before we get to Luke Weaver in the bullpen?
No, I don't, but I'm going to email you something. I want you to play the Ricky Karcher interview because I want to see it. So let's work on that.
Is it online? Can I see a link? Can you give me a link?
Yeah, go to the Reds Twitter. Reds Twitter.
All right, got it.
It's called it. I want to watch this. I see a lot of people tweeting about it, so I want to see it. I'm sure there's a lot of people in our chat that are loyal people who come in, and you need to see it too if you haven't seen it. So
all right,
let's do this. The hell with the podcast in the morning. Let's have a good time.
All right. Well, your producer here is working as fast as he can. I think I'm getting ready to have it. I'm going to bring it up. Let's give it a shot.
This scene right now, with the entire team waiting for Ricky Karcher to do this interview. How's this feel right now?
It's like a movie, bro. Yeah. I feel like it doesn't even feel real, man. It's incredible. Holy
All right, live TV, we're good. We're on cable. How are you able to manage through that?
I don't know, man. I mean, confidence in my slider, I guess.
All right, guys.
Oh my gosh. Confident as slider. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to make fun of it, but it seemed like a cement mixer that he was spinning in there. That's the only pitch he had somewhat control over. He said, you know who that reminded me of? And I should know this, but that reminded me of Kenny Powers. Did that remind anyone else of Kenny Powers? That was so Kenny Powers-esque. This is literally a movie. Jim Day, first of all, can we re-talk about this? Jim Day asked him, he said, how did you get through that? He said, I don't know, man. It's like, I don't know. It was like, we didn't know either. Oh no, we're going to get, it says, warning, heads up, we've detected copyright audio, video in your live stream. You might be temporarily blocked. We'll see. I don't know. We might get taken down from the thing. It's all Nick's fault, by the way, if we do.
It's all my fault.
Did we do that?
Did we do that before?
Maybe later in the show. It might be because it's so new. Who knows, man? Who gives a rat's tail? If we end up getting taken down, sorry, chat. You know what happened. I'll tell you what. If they want to block us, we'll fire another stream right back up. If they kick us off, we'll run it back. All right, that's here nor there.
Congrats though to Ricky Karcher. I mean, I'm sure this is a guy that has grinded his entire life to get here, and he's obviously had a lot of struggles along the way. Yes. And I'm sure his family, I don't know if they're there, but they're watching. And that's, say whatever you want about how wild the whole experience was, and it was a wild experience. What a moment for him, man! And that's awesome. That's what makes baseball the best. It's the best, man.
Oh man. I mean, listen, we've talked at length here. Karcher is a professional baseball player. Let's at least admit the fact that this isn't some guy that we just pulled out of the stands. All right. Now, we all can admit that fastball tonight looked like it was on its own path. You know what I'm saying? It was like that teenager that just discovered the fact that he could tell his parents no a little bit. And he's just like, the hell with it. I'm going to go wherever I want. Casale's back there looking like a damn hockey goalie in Game 7 of the NHL playoffs. It's like this Casale's back there fighting for a Stanley Cup, which, again, I don't want that to get lost on us. Casale, unbelievable job. All right, Luke Weaver. Let's get into this really fast. Oh, what a dumb show we do, by the way. Luke Weaver, I got to be frank. I didn't despise his outing as many others did. And I guess my main point as to why I'm being optimistic for Luke Weaver is that Luis Cessa was terrible. Connor Overton was terrible. You know, do you not remember, Nick, when we were like, hey, can we get a guy that just goes out there and throws 5 innings and maybe gives up 4 runs? Like, can we do that? I mean, like it or not, that's what Weaver has done. Unfortunately, he's put himself in a hole, it seems like, every outing. Right? I mean, he's given up a couple runs, what seems like in the first or second inning, every single outing. And the next thing you know, he's battles. I know why the Cowboy was all over his tail and why Twitter was all over his tail about wanting to come out or, the whole being upset about coming out, Nick. But, like, we can't have it both ways is all I'm trying to say. And I'm not trying to be a stand for Luke Weaver, by the way. I can admit that he's probably not the best arm. If he pitched for somebody else, we'd probably say he wasn't very good. But do we want a guy that wants to come out? Like, we can't complain that the guy's upset for wanting to come out. But then on the opposite side, say we want these ultra-competitive guys and we want guys that want the ball. We want guys to be able to go deep into games. It's like, well, you can't have it both ways. So I'm all for Luke Weaver being upset because the truth be told, too, I got to remind everybody, the last time Luke Weaver came out of a game, he came out with the bases loaded, Nick, right? And who came in and pitched for him?
Alex Young gave a grand slam to Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, so that's 3 earned runs on his tab with 2 outs. And I'm not suggesting it was the wrong move or the right move, but you could at least admit or understand as to why, if you're Luke Weaver in that spot, you would be a little upset that you don't get to at least see out what you've made a mess of. You'd like to clean your own mess up, as they say, instead of having someone else come in, give up a grand slam per se, and the next thing you know, you got 3 more runs credited to your outing that you think that you could have gotten the last out on. So, anyways, that's all I wanted to say about Luke. I'm not saying he's going to be a Cy Young by any means, but I don't really want to keep I guess I'm being overly optimistic, but I don't want to keep bashing our own guys. You know what I'm saying? Like I think we can be critical, but when the guy's only given up 2 runs through 4 innings, 3 runs through 5 innings, it's hard for me to sit here and be like, this guy's horrible. Get him out of here. Am I turning into you? Am I too soft?
No, I mean, I definitely think like there's a big difference between like Luke Weaver's ERA that's in the 6s versus like Mike Minor's ERA that was the 6s last year. Like it's you can see with Luke Weaver, it's every start, so it is getting tired for sure.
Yeah.
But every start, he's like, man, 1 or 2 pitches away from having a good start. And at least with Luke Weaver, you can take a step back and you can go, this guy may not be that far away from putting together one of those 4, 5, 6 game stretches where he actually looks like the pitcher that we think he can be. So there's definitely still upside there. He's got to pitch better. Today was the one thing he doesn't normally do, which is walk guys. That's maybe been his best saving grace all year. And maybe he was over pitching a little bit tonight. And man, that first inning was tough. He had 2 outs.
He did. He was 0-2. He was 0-2 with 2 outs.
And 3 runs. I mean, that's it's one. So one pitch completely changes the entire game, and that's why I still look at Luke Weaver with some real genuine optimism for that he could be a guy. I'll say this. I'll say this about Luke Weaver. I'm more optimistic about what Luke Weaver will look like the rest of the year than Ben Lively or even Brandon Williamson. So I think that's probably fair. So I guess you kind of start and end it there. For me.
Yeah, that's fair. Bullpen, it's on the rundown. We'll talk about it briefly. We talk about this every single ninth. I feel like we're beating a dead horse at this point. Listen, the bullpen's been our best attribute. It's been the best thing that this team has had all year long. They've been consistent. They've been solid. I know we want to make fun of Karcher, and that's all fun and well. And make fun is probably the wrong word to use there. I think we all just had like a joyous time of feeling like we all collectively thought that this was going to go the wrong way, and it just somehow laughably went the right way. You got guys like Lucas Sims sitting in your bullpen, Ian Jabot sitting in your bullpen, Alexis Diaz sitting in your bullpen, and we run out a guy named Karcher who nobody's pretty much ever heard of outside of the super fans like Nick, and he's got a 9.2 ERA in AAA this year. I mean, he's coming into a game with a guy on second base with nobody out, and my man shut the door down. Like, that is just stupid. I love it. But anyways, anything else to add from the bullpen?
Well, 2 guys I want to talk about before we go back to Karcher. All right. Alex Young, inning in the 3rd, scoreless, struck out 2, got out of that big jam, and he was coming off that tough game where you have that grand slam to Freddie Freeman. Really wasn't crushed all that well. But Alex Young at 2.7 ERA, the only lefty in the Reds bullpen. He has been awesome. And Fernando Cruz, I thought he's had a really rough year, but I thought he looked great tonight. 2 strikeouts, really shut the door after I think he came in right after the Reds had tied the game, right? I think he was the next guy and shut the door. So really good outing from him. And then, yeah, I mean, Ricky Karcher, I got to give a shout out to Clay. Last year, never heard of this guy. He was in Chattanooga. Clay said, you've got to check this guy out. This dude is wild. And so
he got that right.
Every time I'm watching minor league games, a lot of times I'll have the minor league games kind of on in the background while I'm doing some work or doing something else. If I see Ricky Karcher, I stop what I'm doing and I watched. And like, for someone who hasn't, if you guys haven't watched him, that is literally exactly what he is. Either that implodes or he somehow gets out of it, and it's miraculous. And he can, and he didn't even strike anyone out tonight. I mean, this guy strikes out a ton of guys. This guy struck out 4 guys, and all 4 batters he faced like a week ago. But man, Ricky Karcher, you'll never forget this one, right?
Yeah, no, this was a wild game. It's been a long day for your boy over here. I got to be honest with you. It was one of those days where I just was like, all right, I just want to move on to the next day. I'm going to sit down and watch this Reds game. I sit down and I start watching the Reds game. I'm already in a little bit of like I don't know, not a grumpy mood's the wrong word to use, but I'm already in a mood where I'm over it. And you know, I sit down and sure enough, Luke Weaver gives up 2 runs. I get on Twitter. The whole face of the franchise of the Reds are basically crumbling. The game's over before it's even in the 3rd inning, so I get a little upset about that. And we move on later in the game, and I'm like, okay, we got a chance. Get thrown out at third base by Benson, and the next thing you know, Friedel hits a little, you know, seeing eye double that seems like we would have never gotten if actually Benson was on third. Then all of a sudden, we get into the 9th. You're thinking that you got a chance to get out of it. You're going to win. 2 outs. Nick Kirby says something about not throwing a strike to old man Perez, And old man Perez launches a baseball 400 feet or however far it went. I don't know, but it went far enough to get out of the park. Next thing you know, we're tied, and we're bringing in Karcher in the 10th inning. And it just felt like I was in a never-ending pit of misery today. And I cannot believe that we got out of that with a win. And you know what? It's 12:03. It's a new day, Nick. It's a new day. My attitude, just like that, can change, and it has. Stuart Fairchild. I talked a lot of crap about him. I still think he's a nice person, probably. Don't think that he's ever going to end up being an everyday. I'll just stop. Stuart Fairchild, I'm so thankful that he hit a ball hard tonight. I'll leave it at that.
He also barreled a ball yesterday in St. Louis that died, but he absolutely crushed the ball yesterday. I feel like Stewart's playing pretty well. I love him as the platoon partner with Jake Fraley. I think the two of them together can be a really nice tandem. Fairchild plays good defense. Made a really nice catch in this game.
He does play good defense.
Yeah. Oh yeah. His like outs above average are through the roof. And he's fast. Laid down a bunt tonight.
Yeah, I tell you what, Stuart Fairchild deserves some credit. I apologize to Stu. He does play good defense in the outfield. I think that I just get frustrated when I see guys like CES and AAA, Nick, and I'm just sick and tired of having the same old lineups out there every single night. So I go off on somebody random, and it just so happened to be Stuart Fairchild.
Yeah, I mean, Fairchild's got a 711 OPS right now. So he really hasn't been that bad, and he's gotten way more at-bats against right-handed pitching that he ever should have got this year, just more out of necessity. Right. And I think at some point that's going to change. But Will Benson, I know we mentioned it before we went live, but 2 balls hit 106 miles an hour. Man, he's really looking comfortable at the plate. I'm interested what his ceiling is, because I really have no idea. I just know I like what he brings. Very interested to see what his end of the year looks like.
Yeah, we'll see. Will Benson's one of those guys where everybody wrote him off because of the start he had, right? But you kind of forget that, he's a first-round pick. He's got some upside to him. He did look like a poor man Hayward for a minute. He did look like that, striking out everywhere. Looked about as bad as you could be at the beginning of the year. But a lot of that comes down to what I've said before, Nick. It comes down to confidence, it comes down to nerves, all the above. And I think that Will Benson was trying to make a splash in Cincinnati. And then when you press in this game, when you try hard in this game, it just seems to not work out. I don't know why that is, but that's the case. Same with Goff. Will Benson might be a player, man. I mean, we'll see. It's hard to say with all these guys being as young as they are, with as minimal experience as they have in Major League Baseball. It's really difficult to put your finger on what guys are going to have success and what guys aren't. It definitely, at some point, we can sit here and keep talking about it. We're not going to do it tonight because we do it on every single damn show. But we do have a lot of guys, and we have some decisions that need to be made, Nick. And those decisions are getting ready to come. They're really, 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 really right around the corner. So, the Senzel question, the Fairchild question, Barrero question, CES question, Benson question. There's a lot of figuring out to do, if you will, for this front office and David Bell, and luckily they get paid to do that, and they'll figure it out. So, anything else to add, I guess, on that front before we move into Ellie game number 7?
On the offense, TJ Friedl, really nice night, 2 doubles. Good to see.
Yeah.
Good to see Friedl, who struggled, in really small sample since coming back, so that was good.
It was nice.
And then how about all 3 of the catchers tonight? Tyler Stevenson, 2 hits. Yep. Luke Maley, double that I think would have been a home run in 20 ballpark or something like that.
Yep.
Also had a walk, and then Kirk Casale.
Yeah, 3 catchers saved us tonight.
And the 10th inning was just was unbelievable.
The only thing with the 3 catchers that we keep talking about, and the question I have is that, do we have 3 catchers? I'm not trying to say that as a tongue-in-cheek joke. I'm just genuinely asking, do we actually have 3 catchers, or do we have 2 guys that are catchers and 1 guy that can catch, and we decide to catch him every so often? I don't know how much Stevenson's going to catch, but he needs to start catching a little bit more, in my opinion. I know that wasn't theoretically the plan to begin the year, but the way that this thing's progressing, you'd like to think that Stevenson's got to start catching more. But I do want to say Kevin Newman had a big at bat tonight too. You know, one of those things where I like to be fair. I really do, and I know that I get on Kevin Newman from time to time, and I've gotten on Kevin Newman a bunch this year, and I've gotten on Stuart Fairchild and all those guys. But if you make plays in a baseball game, you deserve some credit. And you know, Kevin Newman pinch hit for Maley, I believe. Is that right? And he got the job done.
And how about David Bell on that decision as well? Because
right.
Luke Maley had crushed the ball and had walked, but he went to his computer screen. It told him, "Hey, Kevin has a much better chance of putting this ball in play.
Right.
That's what we need here," and it worked. So that was a big move in this game. You know, Luke Maley, as good as he looked, could have very well struck out in that spot. So it turned out to be a huge play.
Kevin Newman, low-key, has been playing pretty well. I'm not going to get into the stats and get into all that, but I think that as Reds fans, we need to kind of I don't want to say a prayer. That'd probably be too strong of a term, but I think we need to hope that this guy continue to stay, you know, playing relatively well. And then, dude, Jim Leyland, no way, that's right. You had to have gotten tricked. He's saying that Tatis got traded. I can't fall for that right now. I need other people in the chat to confirm that before I get into that. Nick's going to try to figure that out. That seems wild. There's no way that's real. Jim, please tell me that you're just trolling us. Yeah. All right, Jim's ridiculous. All right, Jim says it's actually Ellie De La Cruz, which, okay, it's a decent joke. Not bad. I wouldn't say it's a great joke, Jim, but it's okay. It's not bad. You got me like kind of wild. You got me wilding out right there. Anyways, back to what I was saying with Newman. If he can play relatively well for the next 6 weeks, he's got some trade value to him, right? Does he have enough trade value like a Kyle Farmer, or being to get back like a Legumina, or like somebody in the bullpen that you would think that next year would be actually a realistic option, like somebody that you would want to have coming out of your pen? Or like, I don't want to say what's the trade value of Kevin Newman, but is there one?
I think it's more likely you're looking at a player that's down in like low A, more of a lottery ticket, but those players matter too, and that's what builds a good system. But at some point, Trace, and I know the Reds are in a different spot just because the Reds have such an unbelievable amount of like talent at the higher levels of the minor leagues, where they're more different than a lot of other contenders that maybe don't have those type of players.
Right.
But if we're in this race, Kevin Newman crushes left-handed pitching.
Yeah.
At some point, do we want to keep Kevin Newman? That could also be a question. You know, if we're thinking trade him to a contender, well, if the Reds are still in the race, Kevin Newman's got an OPS over 900 against left-handed pitchers, crushed left-handed pitchers last year too. So it's not just some, little fluky thing. I don't believe. Reds got a lot of just interesting situations. They're in such a strange spot, being 2.5 out of a playoff spot in a year that we thought was 100% about development, and it might end up being all about development by the time we get to August.
It still is.
But we're kind of like we got a foot in each pool right now, and not sure which one we're diving into.
Yeah, it almost feels like I don't have a good analogy tonight, so I'm not going to make a fool of myself. But it does feel like we're getting more than we bargained for. It feels like we kind of opened up this closet door and we realized there's like money in it or something that we never expected. It's like, oh, this is kind of nice. This is cool. But we are, to be clear, this baseball team, and this is not a buzzkill, chat. This is not a buzzkill. But this baseball team's ahead of schedule, but we're not mortgaging our future. We're not getting into this stupid talk. We'll leave that for other shows. We'll leave that for people that aren't as knowledgeable as we are. And I'm not trying to say that we're better than them. I'm not. But I am saying that there's people that are dedicated to paying attention to this stuff. This is not sell the farm. This is not go out and try to get some starting pitching to fill some holes this year. We're not doing all that. If we end up, call it getting lucky or calling it getting hot, if we make a run and we end up making the playoffs, or we're right there at the end, great. You know what that is? That's a beautiful experience going into next year when you could make the claim that we have all offseason to try to figure out some of these holes that we need, Nick, and we can make that push going into next year. We're not getting ourselves into a spot where we got to try to go after it or any of that stuff. I'm not into that. I don't like that. That's not part of the plan. The one thing that Nick Krall has done that's been different from all the other times, we talked about it time and time again, Nick, is what? He's stuck to the plan. Even though it was tempting maybe to try to satisfy some people, he's never once not stuck to the plan. So keep sticking with it. We're not trying to get ahead of ourselves. This team is what it is. And this division is what it is, Nick. And that's the reason why we're all excited, because I think we all genuinely think this division is just not that good, right? This is the AFC South.
I don't know what that means. But I don't even know if I could tell you who's in the AFC South. The funny thing is you said that is, I'm just joking. I think I know. Titans are there, Colts, Texans, Jaguars.
Yeah, the Reds might be the Jaguars. They might be.
Kirby, football guy. It's funny you said that, because we actually got a question in yesterday's YouTube comment asking, Brandon asked, with the trade deadline coming up and pitching people what we need, what type of guy do you think they should target? And what do you think they should look to trade for said pitching? This is a good question. And I'm with you. I don't think mortgage of the future at all. I'd love to do more of a deep dive into this, but just a player that comes to mind. And I don't want you just necessarily just like go think this player's the guy. I mean more the situation that he's in. Patrick Corbin on the Nationals, guy that's really been terrible the last couple of years, but is actually having a pretty nice season. He's a veteran arm. He's got an ERA just over 4 this year. He's owed a ton of money this year and next. I think the Washington Nationals would probably trade that guy and pay 80, 85, 90% of his salary. You're only going to take him on for money. If you want to see, I think those are the type of players that if you want to sit here and say, hey, we're in it, Reds need to do something, you shouldn't be looking at Nick Krall. You should be looking at the ownership group. And I'm not an ownership.
Yeah,
we don't
get into
rails
that.
Guy.
I got it.
But pick up some guys that are only going to mostly cost you money, that you're not going to have to give up prospects, because there's always those guys at the deadline too. We get enamored with the guys that you have to get, via trade, like the Reds traded Malley and Castillo. But there's other guys that you can get that literally it's only going to cost adding a couple more $1 million of salary. And if the Reds and Ellie De La Cruz keeps getting people to show up to the ballpark for the next couple months, use some of that money back into this. Hopefully the Bally situation is resolved. You have a little bit more, of an understanding of what that's going to look like in the future. That would be the type. And Alex Wallace, Lance Lynn, that's exactly the mindset. Those are the type of players that I think would be best. You're not mortgaging the future. You're bringing in some players that could help you. Maybe they'll be a complete bust, but so what? All you did was just throw a little bit of money. It's not changing the outcome or the trajectory of the future.
Yeah, here's the deal. I mean, some people are like, oh, Patrick Corbin this, or, Lance Lynn, you guys are dreaming, all that. Sonny Gray, and I'm not trying to suggest that Corbin's Sonny Gray, but like Sonny Gray was a solid. People considered his career over. They thought he was a wash up, and at some point, sometimes new scenery just sparks life in some guys, and we're not asking them to come out and be Cy Young pitchers. We're just asking them to be better than, no offense, but like we're asking them to be better than Ben Lively. We're asking them to be better than Ben Lively's been pretty good outside of one start. So I'm not trying to downplay our own guys. Okay, that's one thing I don't like doing on this show. I feel like when you start trying to compare guys to other guys, it almost always seems to make sense that you're always making one guy look bad. But this team needs starters, right? And maybe Lodolo comes back at the end of this year, Nick, and surprises us all, and he throws great. I'm not trying to be pessimistic and say he's not going to throw great, but I am going to say he's coming back from injury. It takes time to come back. He's realistically going to throw, 6 or 7 times towards the end of this year if everything goes right. How good is he going to be when he comes back? This team needs some help. If you're asking the question right now of what can this team do to help themselves try to win the whole damn thing in regards to the division I'm talking about, or get themselves in a playoff, I'd rather be wrong on a couple guys that we spend a little bit of money on than to go out and trade a couple guys that wind up being, and I know this is, glass half empty no matter what, but like, let's say we trade a couple guys that go on to be pretty good MLB players and or all-stars, just because we wanted to try to go get some random 3rd or 4th starter when we probably weren't going to win a World Series regardless. All right, so it's as simple as that for me.
Yeah, Reds can't be on the other end of the Tyler Malley deal.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Think about what do you think Twins fans, in all seriousness, Twins fans have to be a little beside themselves. And it's not even like that Malley because he got hurt. It has nothing to do with him getting hurt. Even if Tyler Malley was throwing the ball relatively well, and he was before he got hurt, Nick, you still have to be like, dude, we gave up Steer and CES for this guy.
They have one more win than they're in first place, but they have one more win than the Reds have right now. I mean, for them, thank God Sonny Gray's pitching as well as he is and has stayed healthy. Or that, man, that would be talks about. One other point, as you mentioned something I really liked about, the whole change of scenery. Think of how bad, if you follow baseball, how bad the vibes are with the Chicago White Sox and the Washington Nationals. You bring a guy like Patrick Corbin over to this team. It's a pretty fun team to play for. You got a pretty fun third baseman and shortstop and second baseman behind you. This is a pretty good environment, right? I mean, if you're talking about rejuvenating a career late in your career, this is as good of a spot as anyone, I think, because you're not going into like the New York market where, there's a ton of pressure on you.
Right.
But if you're kind of on that last leg, you're like, hey, I'm trying to extend this career, Cincinnati's a good place to come. So I like that kind of thinking. And you could do the same for bullpen arms too. There could be some bullpen arms you can pick up that just cost a little bit of money. I think those are the moves that make the most sense for the Reds. Thanks for the question, Brandon. And as always, if there's more questions for people who watch the show after, we had, I think, 3 times as many people watch the show after we went off the air yesterday than while we were on the air. So we appreciate you just as much as everyone. Go in the comments, leave us a question. We'll try to get to it the next day and keep this thing rolling. Appreciate everyone in the chat as well. You guys are incredible.
Chat's amazing. I got something for the chat. I know people think that I'm being funny when I say this. First of all, I'm going to put this over the screen while I say it, just because I think that everyone deserves a chance to look at this. You ready for it? Everyone deserves a chance to look at this. I'm going to let that just sit there and marinate with everybody. I'm going to let you just manifest yourself into watching and looking at what that looks like. You could get all excited about maybe the Cincinnati Reds, and that's all fine and well, and we should be excited about the Cincinnati Reds because it says on there 2.5, which is pretty cool. The other thing I want you to look at, though, really quickly is the Cardinals. That's actually really a thing that's funny and interesting. Look how bad they are, which kind of makes this whole thing like you can have your cake and eat it too type situation. But what I want to say is this, as I cut back to us, is we're going to have some fun. Chatterbox Sports, I'm going to get, like I said before, I'm going to look into get some group tickets. I'm also going to look into seeing if I'm going to, and I meant to do this earlier in the year. I know people think I'm bandwagon right now. I'm not even bandwagon. I meant to do this at the beginning of the year. I was going to buy low on the Cincinnati Reds. I mistimed the market. I waited too long. Now they're hot, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to get some season tickets. Okay. We're going to get some season tickets for Chatterbox, and we're going to start giving them out. And the way that I want to give them out is you got to earn it. You got to earn it, which means you got to watch the show, but you also got to do something else. After this show is over, right, it goes into the YouTube deal where the live chat goes away, but then there's comments. I want you to go into the comments and put what the score is going to be for the following game. If you can tell me what the correct score is, okay, and then you can tell me who hits a home run in the comments, in the chat, on YouTube from this specific show, it's got to be in the comments before obviously tomorrow's game starts. Then you will get 2 Cincinnati Reds tickets from Chatterbox Sports all year long, okay? So to be clear, you go in the comments, you put the score of the game, you put who hits a home run. If that happens and you get it right, you get free tickets, okay?
And the comments, so for tomorrow, the comments for tonight's show.
Yeah.
Tonight's show for tomorrow, just put, you may want to put, to make it easy and clear to understand, Tuesday, Reds 5, Royals 2, Stuart Fairchild home run.
Yep.
Because we don't always put the YouTube stream up till right before the game starts. We want to have that as fresh as, we don't want to put that up too early and have it get lost in the show.
Yeah, it has to be in this show, right? I mean, that way that as soon as the show's over, you can go make the prediction if you like. Not hard. Or you can do it later tonight, or you can do it tomorrow morning. Doesn't matter to me. Simple as that.
And add the date on there so it's clear to understand. Add Tuesday score.
Now you're making it complicated.
No, I just want to make sure it's so make sure we're all.
Well, what game? Well, let me ask you. Let me push back on you then a little bit, Nick Kirby. What do you think that they're guessing when they're in the comments about you, like Monday or Tuesday? They're not guessing the score of the game we just watched. They're guessing the score for tomorrow. So if the comments are in there within the 24-hour period, then I'm gonna know. I'm gonna be able to see what time All right. So you don't have to specify. Just go put the score of the game and who's gonna hit a home run. Not hard. Pretty simple. All right. Other things. And if you guys think I'm lying, I'm not lying. I guarantee you. There's people on this chat. We sent people last year to the Bengals playoff games. So it's a real deal. Not joking. But that should help us. That should help us do two things. One, spread people and let them know about this show. And two, it should give you a chance, who is loyal listeners. We love you. Like, you think we're joking every night? We love you. You guys are freaking, you are what make this show fun. And I'll tell you, if you live somewhere else, still comment, still guess, send me a message and say, hey, man, I can't get tickets because I live too far away, but I'm coming in town for this date. Can I make it up? I'll make it up. We'll make it happen. If you don't ever want to come to Cincinnati because you live, like, I don't know, Alaska or something, then I'll mail you a shirt or something. I don't give a damn. But that's my way of saying thank you for watching this show. You find another company that does that, and then we'll match it. We'll even do that. This for those that wonder, like, oh yeah, listen, Chatterbox, small company, man. We started this thing from the ground up. This thing is as grassroots as one can possibly get. People think that, well, you know, like, we don't do clickbait stuff. I know sometimes it might look like we do clickbait stuff. I could give a rat's ass about clicks. It doesn't matter to me. You can click on this website. You can click on YouTube as many times as you want. Click, 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 click. I can promise you it makes no difference to me. It makes no difference. We could care less about it. What we want to do is we want to talk about sports specifically, not politics. We don't want to talk about entertainment. We don't talk about any of that crap. We want to talk about sports. We want to talk about Cincinnati sports, and we want to have fun doing it. So, Mouse Cop's in there lobbying for likes. We always like that. He's an OG. But I just want to tell everybody from the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching our dumb show. Simple as that. And we're going to continue having fun. If you listen to this in podcast version, you can still get involved. Get on YouTube, guess the score. If you're on YouTube and you don't know, you can get on to Apple, Spotify, all the podcast platforms. You can download our show. It's on there every single night. But if you watch our show regularly, you know that we have to talk about Ellie because Nick Kirby puts him in the rundown no matter what happens. Even if he goes 0 for 5, there we are. So go ahead, Nick. I do love Ellie. I think he deserves some praise tonight. It's hard for me to think that he should be in the rundown, but I'm here to do it. Talk to me.
I think the people want to know what Ellie did. And hey, chat, you let me know. I'm a man of the people. So if you say, hey, I don't want to know what Ellie De La Cruz did, I'll stop telling you what Ellie De La Cruz did. We'll just forget about him. Move on. But Ellie 0 for 5 tonight. Did have two hard hit balls, 98 and 99. And he did steal a base. And that's the only point in the game on Ellie is even when he doesn't even get a hit, like he had a fielder's choice and then stole second. There's just so many ways this guy can help you, and he's awesome.
You know, he got hosed out of a call there. I thought the ball looked down to me. Was that against Chapman? Again, my brain. It's
yes, yeah.
So the ball, Chapman obviously threw a fastball. Look, it was low. I think it was low. I don't know what Statcast had it at. The broadcast, it looked low. That's a big call. That's a big call, largely because if he gets on base, Ellie reminds us all of Billy Hamilton in a way, right? I mean, if he gets on base, there's a good chance he's going to find himself in scoring position. So, you know, I just love the fact that Ellie brings so many things to the table that it's not just the fact that you have to rely on power. You don't have to rely on just the glove. You don't have to rely on just the speed. You get it all, which is why Ellie's a special player. You know, I seen somebody on Twitter say, you need guys like Jonathan India and you need guys like McLean as glue guys and all that. And, you know, those are hard to find. And Ellie's a unicorn, guys. Like, we can all at least agree that Ellie is one of the most special players that we'll probably ever get to watch in a Reds uniform. Does it mean that he's a better player than everyone else automatically? No. But there's things that he's going to be able to do for this baseball team to win games that other guys just aren't capable of doing because they don't have the skill set that he has, and that's just the facts of the matter. But I've said it time and time again, let's not get ourselves in a position as a fan base where we just kind of ignore everybody else. And I don't think that we do that yet, but I do think that we need to be wary of the fact that we do have Spencer Steer on this team, who's a rookie, who is incredible. Matt McLean has been absolutely nailed since he's come up here. He's been incredible. He deserves all the flowers one could possibly give him. Andrew Abbott's been absolutely fantastic since he's coming up. These guys are all rookies, by the way. I hate to bring that to the National League Central's attention, but a lot of these guys are pretty damn good, and they're just rookies. And there's other guys on the way. CES obviously is winning International Player of the Year week, whatever the hell it's called, month. What did he win? He won the week, month, year. What is he? We know.
I think Steer was the month. McLean was the week.
I'm talking about CES. He was the international player of the something. Week,
Oh,
month,
yeah.
chat, let me know. Regardless.
Yeah.
I guess I just want to say, let's not forget about the rest of the guys, right? Not that I don't know if they care, but it's like, maybe I'm wrong about this, but I would just like to think our fan base is smart enough and has a high enough baseball IQ to not always make it about Ellie. Ellie, can we be honest? If we're in the trust tree, I know it was a hard hit ball, but Ellie probably should have made that play at third. No? Do you agree? If Matt McLean's playing third right there, does he make that play? Not that we're pinning our own guys against each other, but I thought he kind of misread the hit. He thought it was harder than it was. He kind of like fell back on it a little too much, and then it short hopped him. But whatever, whatever. Ellie's a special dude. I love Ellie, so it's not like I'm trying to pick on him. I guess I feel like Ellie sometimes. You know how you have like someone in the group that's just way better than everyone else when they're like 8 years old, or you have somebody that's just so much better than everybody. Like, have you ever heard the Bob Knight story with Michael Jordan, where you have to pick on somebody if things are going really well, so you just pick on the best player? Have you heard that Michael Jordan story with Bob Knight?
I have not.
All right. Well, I'm not going to tell the story. I'm going to put up a chat to see if I should tell the story before we sign off the air. Is there anything else that you have questions wise that you got from the chat and or from the comments from last night?
I see a lot of people posting the score. Trace, just to be clear, are you accepting the chat?
I can't
see. That's gonna be hard to track.
Listen, guys, I can't accept the live chat scores. I'm sorry. The live chat's too hard to track. You got to wait till the show's over. It's gonna take a little bit of work. You got to wait till the show's over, and then you can just comment directly on the show, because then that's a lot more clean for me to sort through. The chat, it's way too much. I'm sorry. Can't do the live chat.
Yeah, I just don't want anyone to miss out.
I know.
That had it in there.
Good point. We'll probably keep doing this for the next 2 or 3 weeks, and eventually everyone will be on board, and we'll know. So, what just
Tomorrow
happened?
starters?
Yeah.
What?
My chat just went away. What just happened?
My chat's still good.
Interesting.
All right, if we're still on the air, let's go to tomorrow's starters. Reds going up against Jordan Lyles. With Trace with a fresh bullpen. Lucas Sims, Alexis Diaz, Ian Jabot all got the day off.
That's good.
I don't even know if I want to read this guy's stats just because it's so like knock on wood, but 6.84 ERA. That's the worst in baseball. You could have guessed it. 18 home runs allowed. That's the worst in baseball. Royals 0-13 in starts from Lyles this season. That is the longest streak of starts made by a specific pitcher in Royals history without a win. Jordan Lyles is just the third pitcher in the history of baseball to have his team lose his first 13 starts of the season. To Lyles' credit, he does have 2 starts this year where he threw 5 innings pitched and he only allowed 1 earned run. So maybe a little bit unfortunate, at least in 2 starts this year. He's got a career 4.24 ERA against the Reds in 63 and 2/3 innings pitched. Faced him a lot, but hasn't faced him since 2019, back when he was with the Brewers and the Pirates. Reds hitters, though, and this is what scares me about Jordan Lyles, Trace. This is what really makes me nervous. 0-for-11 in their career against Lyles. So, I don't know, man. This is going to be dicey.
Brent stole one, so we're playing with house money, baby.
House money against Jordan Lyles. And then Brandon Williamson for the Reds. He's coming off his worst start in a Reds uniform. It was against the Dodgers, 5 2/3 innings, 6 earned runs in that one. But one thing that has really stood out from Williamson, kind of looking through some of his stats just real quick, opponents have a ground ball batting average of just 143 against him this season. So when Williamson's able to get him to hit it on the ground, he's had a lot of success this year. So go Reds, 8-10 Tuesday evening. Can the Reds keep the magic rolling?
I think they can. I have a Bob Knight story to tell with MJ because it looks like most of the chat wants to hear it. That's fine. I put it up to a poll just to make sure, just to see, just wanted to test it out. It's a good segue to my dunk. So to my point about trying to get on certain players more than others because some players are just more talented and better than others. Bob Knight was the head coach for the Olympic team when you had all these elite players and Bob Knight was, you're going to have to save that, Nick Cage. You can't do that right now. You have to save that. You're going to have to save
Cage,
that.
Cage wants to hear the Knight story.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Let's see it. You ever try to tell a story with Nick Cage staring at you? This is really not going to be easiest
Are
thing
you
to
going to
do.
have the giggle fit like I had the first time?
No, I won't have the giggle fit. That's a beautiful thing. I like to see that. All right, so here's the deal. So they're winning by like 40 points at halftime, right? They're playing perfect basketball. Genuinely, Bob Knight said that you could not possibly play the game any better. It was almost like they invented the game right before the game started, and then all of a sudden they went out and played, and they looked like they were executing at that much of a level. So Bob Knight, knowing how he is, he thought, what can I possibly do and tell these guys as I go into halftime when we're winning by this much? So they go into the locker room, and he thinks to himself, he goes, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get on MJ's ass. I'm going to tell him he's not any good. He's not hustling. I'm going to get on our best player's ass and see how, maybe that'll get the guys fired up. So he goes in there. He's telling him, you guys aren't as good as you think you are. MJ, I tell you right now, I've never seen a guy loaf as much as you. You can't get through a screen. You're not setting screens, blah, 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 right? And anyway, so MJ goes, Coach, he goes, didn't I read an article the other day that said I was the fastest player that you had ever seen? And he says, yeah, what does that have to do with it? He says, Coach, I'm setting them screens, but I'm setting them so fast you can't even see them, baby. And next thing you know, everybody died laughing. They went out there, beat the hell out of everybody else, and won. I thought that was an absolute dynamite comeback from MJ. MJ, we're not going to get into the GOAT debate tonight, but if you don't know that story, you should. That is absolutely phenomenal. In real time, Michael Jordan just let him know, hey, didn't I just see an article the other day that said I was the fastest player you'd ever seen? He goes, yeah. He goes, well, I'm setting them screens, baby. You just setting them so fast you can't see them. That's phenomenal.
I see a David Bell Ellie situation happening just like that in the near future.
No doubt. David Bell, give him his flowers too, by the way. We're managing this bullpen tonight. Beautiful. I don't know what else to say outside of beautiful. You can ring my bell. I might as well get some more copyright while we're at it. We'll just start playing that song every single night as well. But as always, Nick, we do a show. Also, I know we usually do these promos. I don't know what we're doing tonight. I don't know what we're doing tonight.
We were taking a night off.
There's probably going to be some clips tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I don't know. We'll see what happens, Dell. Tomorrow you'll see your boy Trace. He's going to be on a clip, I'm sure. We'll figure it out how it goes. But that's here nor there. But we do a show. It's called Chatterbox Reds. We do it every night. You're here and you watch it. We do, as always, have a podcast. Please go download it, rate it, give it a review if you haven't. The more ratings, the better. Nick, what did we get up to in podcast top 100 rankings?
22. We were actually up at 9. We peaked at 9 at one point last week.
22, baby. 22. And we ended at what? 9. So there's only one thing left to do. Let's go rate, download, and review, and do me a favor. Watch this dunk. Because unlike a PO, unlike Alex Young, I am an athlete, baby. This is for Sam Hubbard. If you know, you know. Appreciate Sam Hubbard being there tonight. You got to bring it back better than ever tomorrow. Much love. See you tomorrow, everybody.